What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kerry Digsby, and I am the host of Convo with CD. I get the opportunity to sit down and chit chat with a lot of cool people, and hey, it's fun. And the reason why I decided to do this is because I truly believe that conversations are the best way in which we get to interact and know each other. So many times we're sitting either in our office or we're sitting at home, and throughout the course of the day, we let life take over. But we miss that piece, that conversation piece that allows us to understand, hey, how was your day? Hey, what's going on with you today? What are your thoughts, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations? And many times we miss the opportunity to be blessed by someone else who has a conversation with us. We tend to hear, but we don't listen. So hence the reason why I came up with Convo with CD, because I get the opportunity to introduce to you individuals that have some great conversation. And this gentleman right here is no different. I met William years ago, William Wilson. We were at a networking event that I had hosted back in the day. I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm going to tell you many times we had many people to come through, but it was just something about this brother when he came in, how he carried himself, the dialogue that he had with other individuals, how he was able to assess what was going on when he came into a room, and then just to hear his story was truly amazing. So I get to introduce to you this gentleman that I've followed for many years, great dialogue with over the times, and we get to have that dialogue in front of you right now. His name is William Wilson, CEO of William Wilson Clothing. What's going on, sir?
What's happening, brother? That introduction, man, I was waiting to meet this brother.
Hey, hey, I just have to tell the truth. Like I say, it's on my heart and I have to tell it. So how have you been, man?
Man, I've been blessed, man. I've really been blessed. It's been a crazy world. The world's been crazy, starting to level out a little bit. But overall, even during that, man, I've been good.
Yes, indeed. Oh, we got people coming in. What's going on? Mahogany to BT, Miss Mahogany, who is Miss Dripping Bling herself. Thank you for joining us on Combo with CD this evening, sis. Oh, there go my daughter. Oh, she chimes in each and every time. What's going on, babe? Hope you are well today. And guys, let me tell you, this one right here, I can honestly say, is one that's been long overdue. William and I have always sat and, we chit chat, and he says, yo, you got my number. All you got to do is hit me up. Let me know. I'm there. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But then, when you're sitting, you're watching this brother as he jet sets and he's traveling and, he's doing, celebrity fittings and everything. You're like, man, when does he sit down? That's the question. Man, when do you sit down?
I don't really. I pretty much, there's old saying, leave it all on the field. So by the time when I finished up my evening, I finished up the day. I typically finish my day around 8, 9 o'clock. I lay down, watch a few hours of television till I just fall asleep, and 5:30 next morning, I'm up and at it again.
Man, 5:30 in the morning. I thought I was the only person to get up that early and just make it happen. But I mean, that's been one of the things though about you, just as we've talked and just watching you, you get on Facebook and you'll drop some knowledge to individuals, but it's that work ethic that you have. And I want you to, if you don't mind, share with everybody that work ethic, because it doesn't just happen overnight. And you've even said that many a time on Facebook of how you gotta sacrifice in order to get it.
Yeah, man. It all comes down, you gotta, hey, Mahogany. It comes down to that point where you just gotta say, you know what? Do you want to talk about what you want, or do you want to go after what you want? You gotta understand, are you willing to pay the price for what you want? Are you willing to pay the price of admission? It's one of these, life is a performance. Life is a show. And you get standing room only, you get general admission, you get VIP, or you get a box. So it all comes down to, where do you want to sit in life? Do you want to stand in the back? Do you want to be front row? Do you want to be in a box where when you get hungry, people bring you food? It all comes down to where you want to be in the box. And the more you want, the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. So if you want the most, you got to put out the most. You got to just work harder than everybody else. So you got to be willing to pay the price of admission. And the price of admission can be different depending on what you're going to see and where you want to be in the performance. So I just work, like I said, but I love what I do too. So it doesn't really feel like work. You know, when you love what you're doing, it doesn't feel like you're working. It feels like you're just, they call it a labor of love.
Mm-hmm.
But I love what I do. I love my industry. But the funny thing is, I don't love suits. I love business.
Mm-hmm.
Suits just had to be an avenue that I was good at that allowed me to do the stuff I really enjoy, which is the business part, which is, you know, building the brand, marketing the brand, meeting people, networking, connecting with cats like you that's doing things. It just allowed me to be significant. I remember me and Briston Buckner were on an event one time. He said, I don't want to be successful, I want to be significant.
Mm.
And that stuck with me. So if you want to be significant, you have to do significant things.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do significant things thinking from a mediocre mindset. So I just try to just work hard than everybody else. I'm not special. I don't have any necessarily special gifts or special skills or anything. I just, you know, I'm just not going to let you outwork me for the things that I want.
And that says a lot too, because I know with your history and family, if y'all don't know, this gentleman was in NASCAR. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that says a lot, you know, coming from, matter of fact, let me even go back even further. Okay. Because you were in the Navy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you were in NASCAR. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get into the construction industry. All right.
Well, I was doing the construction and the NASCAR at the same time.
Oh, see, taught me something again. So you're doing both of those, and then you segue into clothing realm.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's a common thread right there, and I want people to really understand this and listen to it when you share that with them. There's a common thread there in all of those different facets of your life. There has been one thing that has been paramount in that.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and drop it to them, because you actually shared this once before on Facebook.
Shoot, I say so much stuff, man, but just I think the common denominator is me and God. You know, you just got to try stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You have to try things. You know, I'm single with no kids, so that helps me in some areas. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you just got to take a chance. You know, there's nothing that guarantee you're going to succeed, but if you don't try, you have no chance of succeeding. Mm-hmm. But I just try stuff, and every one of those situations, someone's told me I couldn't do it. They told me I was crazy. They told me whatever, but I just don't listen to them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm just too ignorant to know that it wasn't supposed to work, so it worked. But I just try stuff. But I didn't have, you know, when I got involved in NASCAR, I didn't know anybody in the industry. When I got involved with clothing, like to this day, I've never taken a design class. I've never taken a fashion class. And the only clothing I've ever sold was my own clothing. So I didn't have any connections or contacts there. And when I got to the Navy, when I joined the Navy, I couldn't swim the length of my body. So none of those things were I really supposed to be successful at. But I've been able to reach the pinnacle of all those industries just from just hard work, commitment, focus, dedicated, you know, believing in God, remembering God, and trying to treat everybody the same, treating everybody, whether you're the person who bags groceries or the person that owns the company that makes the groceries, treat everybody the same with decency and try to act like, you know, try to operate with character.
Mm-hmm. That's very important. How did you feel? And this is a question I've always wondered, because I've heard you say a couple other things as far as your suits and, you know, your clientele and such. But the first time, the first suit that you sold, who was it and how did you feel at that time?
Well, my first celebrity client was Al Wallace.
Okay.
He was the defensive end for the Panthers. And I knew Al wanted to have my construction company. But I remember the first time, and Al's 6'5", 280. He's a big dude.
Yeah. So
I remember the first time making a suit for him and it fit him right and everything. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then I remember, so that was like the first thing that made me comfortable. Then I started working with Mike Minner, you know, and everybody knew Mike was a sharp dresser. So it was great for him to allow me to dress him. And then I did a suit for Calvin Richardson. About 14 months later, he called me to do a suit for him for the Grammys. And he got best dressed on the red carpet. It was like, I'm like, wow, maybe I can do this. You know, I didn't even know they had that kind of thing. But I think it was like the first time I saw one of my suits on television. It was this feeling of like, it was definitely a feeling of pride because it was something I never thought about. When I started William Wilson Clothing, working with celebrities and things like that was never even in my wheelhouse. I wasn't even thinking about that kind of stuff. I just wanted to just sell 2 suits and go home every day.
Right.
And oddly enough, today is still, I want to sell 2 suits and go home. Because I just believe in living a simple life. But there's a feeling of pride, there's a sense of accomplishment. There's also a sense of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you start to grow, people are watching you. And they're studying you, they're learning from you. They're using you as an example of how to do things. So there's responsibility that comes with that. So it also makes you feel an overwhelming sense of responsibility and purpose and obligation to watch how you do things, how you carry yourself, how you interact with people. Because you know me, you've seen me on Facebook. I say exactly what I feel. I just have to tone the way I say it.
Yes.
Because sometimes I want to cuss people out because they come at me wrong, and I'm like, I'm a man first.
Right.
So sometimes I type a whole diatribe out. Then I got to delete all that to get it out of my system. Then I go back and respond accordingly. So there's so many things that come with it.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that as well, because on Facebook, and it's unfortunate because the social media platform has originally been for us to connect people that we haven't seen in a long time or whatever. And then you get individuals that get on there and they just, for all intents and purposes, they go off. And and the things that they say, it makes you question a lot of times what's going on at their home or within them. Mm-hmm. But one of the things I've always been impressed about you is how you handle many individuals when you get on Facebook. And it's obvious we ain't going to agree, but how you handle that dialogue with them, I think speaks paramount about you, because first off, you're protecting the brand. And I try to tell a lot of people so many times, if you want to be respected and you're a business owner, you got to protect the brand. And that means
first and foremost.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't get that. Sometimes they'll get out here and act a monkey, per se, post certain things on Facebook that obviously is going to ruffle feathers and just cause a bunch of mess. And they don't care. And then they wonder why their business is not getting the type of attention that it deserves, they say. And that's one of the things I've seen with you. And many times we get on there, both of us, and we'll start typing stuff out. We're talking to each other about certain things or a certain topic that may have come up, and somebody else is coming on there. And especially during the past 8 years, let's just say that was a very trying and challenging time for many individuals. But you handled it like a champ. So definitely appreciate that, because I think, you know somebody is watching you, and it's not necessarily myself and it's not necessarily other business owners, but let's talk about the young people out there that may be watching you.
Yeah, well, it's the young people and the older ones, because everyone can learn from anybody. And my thing is, I can disagree with you and still be cool with you, because I can only see the world from the way I see it. And so there may be certain things that are important to me that may not be important to other people.
Right.
They may not find it relevant. But I've learned in time especially over the last 4 to 6 years, that there are people that are looking for information and people that are looking for affirmation. And I find a lot of people, they form an opinion and they just look for information to fit what they're already saying. They look for somebody to affirm the opinion they already have. Now, I'm one of those people, I just like the facts. I'm like Joe Friday, just the facts. So if I can have a belief and I can state my belief, if you can give me facts that dispute my belief, I'll go along with you. But if I'm interacting with someone, especially people that I know that no matter there are not enough words in the English language to change their mind because they don't care about the facts, at that point the conversation to me is no longer about that person. It's about the other people who are willing to learn and listen and read and pick up. So where this person may not learn anything, I may teach 10 or 15 other people that are watching how things go. So that's one part of it. Hey, Amber. So that's part of it. The other thing is, like you said, there are kids that are watching me. There are parents that are watching me, like a lot of single moms watch me to give as an example for their sons.
Right.
Or their entrepreneurial children. They may not be same. They may be, 2 parent homes that their children are watching me because they're like, hey, this guy's a good entrepreneur. Watch him. So there's responsibility there So I have to watch how I deal with stuff. I have to watch how I interact with people. I have to watch how I say certain things because it will show other people how to react to those situations. You don't have to always get mad and frustrated. You've seen it. I could be me and somebody can have a heated conversation, and 2 seconds later we're laughing about something else.
Right.
Because it's about building that relationship over time. You know, my thing, you're not going to browbeat someone to believe something they don't want to believe. They're just going to resent you. I just present the facts to you and continue to present facts to you and operate in those facts. And you'll either eventually come to believe those facts or you won't. Either way, you at that point, you're embarrassing yourself, not me. So I just let people do, like Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. I let you be who you are. And if you're willing to expose that to the rest of the world, that's on you.
Very good. Very, very good. You couldn't have said it any better than that. And it's very important that the way we conduct ourselves, especially in the public, definitely speaks volumes later on, whether it be in business, whether it be out at the grocery store. I remember many a time I'll go to the grocery store with my wife and run into somebody, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, man, I remember Carrie did blah, 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 blah." And it's not necessarily the accolades, but it's how I carry myself, because then I remember I've got other people I got to represent. I've got a whole tribe back here. I've got a lineage and such, as well as my business. So I'm glad you definitely said that. And speaking of lineage, what's going on, Charlie? How you doing, sis? Charlie 2's out of the VA area. Definitely appreciate you joining us on Convo with CD.
I moved here from VA.
Huh?
I moved here from VA. I was stationed in Newport News. I was in Virginia Beach. I was stationed in Virginia.
That is right. Matter of fact, and it's interesting because my wife's brother was stationed there as well in the Navy. So yeah, we used to do a lot of traveling up that way. Love that place. I wanted to talk about, I mentioned briefly about lineage, but family. And granted, yeah, you're a single brother, and I'm not going to throw it out there about hey sisters and stuff, because I'm sure you get enough of that as it is, because you're, what you do. But one of the things I love watching and listening to you about, because you're like me, is the love that you have for your mother and the support. I think that speaks volumes with brothers when they can share that, because so many times we portray ourselves, or we're supposed to portray ourselves, as hard, sometimes unfeeling, not being very emotional, but you don't let that occur, and you always pay much accolades to your mother for the things that she's done. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, I think we all go through those phases of maturity. And as men, typically as men, we're really taught two primary directives: conquer and solve problems. That's kind of our thing. We really don't learn how to deal with our emotions and understanding that stuff till we mature later. So I went through that tough guy phase. I went through one of those phases. Fortunately, I went through it quickly. But I just learned as a man, you're not really a man until you really understand the full way to control yourself and your emotions. And like I was telling somebody in a podcast maybe a couple of years ago, like I didn't really become a man until I learned how to cry and how to tell another man I love you. And that was like that release to where I could just be, because if I can tell you I hate you, I can tell you I love you. If I can be able to, if I can yell and I can scream and I can laugh and I can giggle and I can do all these other things, I should also be able to cry if I'm hurt or if I'm emotional about something. And I think when I reached that point, it allowed me to touch everything else. And I tell you all the time, the older I get, the smarter my mom becomes. When you're a teenager, you think you know everything. You think your parents don't know anything. Then as you get older and experience something, you realize, wow, she was right. Wow, my mom's a genius. My mom could have taught at MIT. That's how you kind of look at it then, because the way they see the world.
Right.
And they just understand things that you just never can possibly process and comprehend. So I have such an appreciation and love for my mother, because I am a direct descendant of who she is. I see a lot of my personality in her. And there's some ways we're the exact opposites of each other, or less extremes of each other. But I've just learned so much from her. My mom she's who she is. She doesn't apologize for who she is. She kind of minds her own business. She's just low key. And I love that. So I've learned that about how to be that person myself and not worry about you can't please everybody. She started to say you can't please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a time where I tried to please everybody, and now I don't. But I've learned to appreciate. I mean, I've always loved my mother because, like, I never knew my father, but I've always known mom, and I love my mom. But I have a new appreciation and respect for her as I understand more and more how the world is, and I respect the fact that she was always, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whether I'm her son or not. If I'm wrong, she'll call me to the carpet on it. If I'm right, she'll let me know. She doesn't pull any punches. It's either right or it's wrong. It's the only way she looks at it. And I have a respect for that. And I love that. And I love my mom.
That's what's up, Charlie. Appreciate you sharing that as well. Oh yeah, Amber. You're right. Yep. And I think that yeah, she's amazing. Definitely amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Amber. Yeah, and that says a lot too, because as we get older, and I try to tell my sons this, it took me a while to realize that as well. When we're young, dumb, and the rest.
Mm-hmm.
But as we get older, I now find myself wanting to spend more time with my parents. And especially like when I was younger, my mom will tell you, people would call on the phone back in the day, the rotary phone and all that, but she'd tell them he's not home and he's not going to be home until Monday. Now, when I go over to, I go and check on them, spend time with them. My mom and I were out in the yard, we're doing, we're gardening. That's one thing I love to do. So we're gardening and I'm listening to her as she shared things with me, that wisdom. And my father, he's watching TV, but then he'll share with me certain things that I didn't even know that he did when he was younger. So it's almost as though it's like a rite of passage, when you get to that certain age and you understand and you can now say, that's what it clicks, that light bulb just clicks and it's like, that's what they were talking about. And you like, yeah, they could teach a whole class or whatever sort, and you revel in that. You want to just sit there at their feet and listen to all that. So I'm glad you shared that because a lot of people don't get that right now, or at least the younger ones. And I try to tell my boys that. Wait till you get my age.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see what I'm talking about.
The longer you live, you eventually be. I tell you, if you live long enough, you'll become your parents. if the parents are doing the right things,
right?
But you will eventually become your parents because you just don't realize what lessons and thoughts and ideas and phrases sink in until much later, and all of a sudden you realize you're saying the stuff that your parents used to say. That, like, I'll say stuff my mom said, or I'll refer to something my mom said, or I'll deal with a situation based on something I heard my mom say. So you realize how much of an influence that really is.
Yes, indeed. Well, family, we are about to come close to the time, but there's one question I have for you, William, because I mean, everything that you've been able to accomplish in your life, what's next for William Wilson? Because I seen a little picture that you posted on your Facebook page, and I shared that out to the public for this show. And you stated yourself, you said, I am William Wilson. But what does that mean and what's next for William Wilson?
I'm a country boy from Arkansas. That's it. That's who I am. There's nothing overly special about me. I've been blessed to accomplish a lot of things, but there's nothing I accomplished that other people couldn't accomplish as well. So I'm very grateful and thankful, and I'm very humbled by that and appreciative of it. But as far as what's next, I really don't know. I don't plan my life out as much as people think I may do. I kind of just, if I get a whim, I go with it to an extent. I love to do more speaking because I love speaking and talking to people and helping them out. Because I remember when I was first getting started, I'd love to have had someone on a consistent basis I could talk to kind of take me through the path of where I'm going and help me avoid some of the times I wasted going to events that weren't worth going to and seeing the signs and signals of stuff that would have been a waste of time, those types of things. But I think really I think we spend too much time worried about getting to the next level. I don't think we are always talking about the next level, the next level. And I think most people don't maximize the level that they're at. Like, I'm very happy right now. Like, if my life didn't change at all, and it stayed just like it is right now for the rest of my life, I'd be cool. I don't need to make millions of dollars. I don't need to have big old homes. I've realized what's important. And to me, it's just peace, calm, having important people in your life that are special. Those are things that matter. I passed that point of wanting to impress people that I don't know. That if I probably knew them, I probably wouldn't necessarily like. You know.
Yeah.
But I just want to really learn more about me, become a better me. And I think the better me I become, the better business person I become, the better individual, the better son, the better brother, the better everything. Like, you know, I'm single, but I have someone special in my life. So I just want to be the best person I can. You know, I think the more I work on this, the better everything else works out. I just want a better version of what I already had. I'm happy. I found my happy place. And I tell everyone, find your happy place. Don't try to live other people's happy places. Don't try to live what other people tell you should do. Because, and you know this, Carrie, every time you reach a level of success, there's always those people tell you, okay, you done this, though, you make your first million. Oh, now you got to figure out how to make 2. Oh, okay, so you make 2, now you got to figure out how to make 5. Meanwhile, they still making 40,000. But they still busy telling you how to live, how to run your company. I don't know how to run a magazine. I have no clue how to run a magazine. So how can I tell you how to do it? Nor do I know what makes you happy. You know, who am I to tell you how to live your life? But you'd be amazed the amount of people that try to tell me how to live my life, what I should buy, what I should do all the time. And I'm like one of the happiest people I know. But I think too many people spend too much time trying to appease other people. And I'm not interested in pleasing other people because I am really happy with who I am right now. So I just want to just maximize where I am now, see where it goes. And like I said, do more speaking.
That's what's up. Well, y'all, you heard it first right here. Well, William, with that being said, I put your website down at the bottom. How can the family follow you? How can people get in contact with William Wilson for speaking engagements to learn a bit more about being in that happy place, as well as getting their business where it needs to be?
Well, definitely through the website. You can reach me. You can email me there. My social media, my Instagram, Twitter. That's the Clothier. Even my LinkedIn is the Clothier. And I'm pretty. You know me. I'm probably the easiest person in the world to get a hold of because I do all my own social media for the most part. I respond. I try to reply back to everybody. If they want me to come speak, just hit me up. I love doing the kind of stuff. Or they just have some questions. I'm getting ready to start my podcast back up, so I'm definitely gonna have you on that. I want to be able to share people more information and things like that. But if they have questions and just want to just chop it up, get some advice, I'm more than willing to give advice on stuff, within reason. Because and probably know this. You get the people that are like, they want advice. Next thing you know, they want you to build their whole company for them.
Yes.
Wait, no, that's consulting. That's different.
Yes.
You got a question about this or that. That's when you're going to help you plan your whole business. That's consulting. That's a whole different thing. But I just want to just do that. Just like I said, just help as many people as I can. So I try to be as accessible as I can. A lot of people tell me I'm too accessible to people. I'm too open to people. It's too easy to get a hold of me. So I'm trying to work on that, but I'm not doing a good job of it. I like people. I genuinely like people.
Yeah. So you sound like me. I remember my publicist some time ago. She would always say, you need to get out. You need to really, get out and let people know who you are, Carrie. Let people know who you are. And I remember this one cat, he found out who I was. And he was like, man, I'm actually talking to the CEO. And I said, well, why not talk to the CEO? Why not talk to an owner? We garner the same amount of respect as the guy who's the janitor who's mopping the floor. We're no more important than him. So why can't we talk? And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I always wanted to start this type of platform, so we can talk, so people can know that you're not up in a castle and you're not accessible. No, you're right here. You want to hear from people and you want to interact with people and you want to know what's going on with them, because at the end of the day, that makes you a better person as well. So
exactly. And I know you got to wrap up. I don't want to take all your time.
No problem.
I got all night, but I know you got a schedule. But But I think but you hit on something I really want to touch up on.
Okay.
Because I would get that kind of deal. I know you get it too, where people, you ever like go somewhere and you get home, like I would go to an event when the world was open, and people come back and say, I saw you at so and so. You know, I'm like, why didn't you come say, hey? I didn't know how to approach you.
Yep.
You know, they're like, because that's what I up in 20 I want to say 2016, I made a concerted effort because I used to be about business.
Mm-hmm.
But people really didn't know me. So I said, I put a concerted effort. I'm going to let people see more what my personality is, you know, the inside parts. Now, I'm very private, which is really weird because as much of my life as you see, but it's something that, like my love life and things like this, that's for me. That's not for the public.
That's right.
But aside from that, you know, most of my stuff, like what you see is what you get. But I want people to get a better understanding. So people would meet me like, man, you're a lot funnier than I thought you were. Man, you're a lot more easier to talk to than I thought you were. Like, I was on Facebook one night, like 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a Skype interview, but I'm having 2 other chats. I've got like 14 private message conversations all going at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady hits me up. She goes, "Oh, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" She's like, "What are you up to?" I said, "Oh, I'm just doing some research and whatever." And we exchanged probably 2 or 3 pieces of conversation, just exchanges.
Right.
And she said, I'm not gonna hold you like this, 2:00 in the morning. She said, I'm not gonna hold you up. She said, I just appreciate you talking to me because most people like you don't take time to talk to people like me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just like you. She said, no, you're
Mm-hmm.
nothing like me. She said, you deal with celebrities and you fly private jets and you do all this stuff. And you live in this high rise and she said, you're nothing like me. I said, no, I'm just like you. I said, my environment may be different, but I'm not my environment. I'm just in my environment, not of my environment.
Mm-hmm.
So we dialogue, but it really gave me the first chance to see, again, the effectiveness of the brand and all that stuff, to where it gave me a chance to see how other people saw me.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we get so caught up in what we're trying to accomplish, so we know who we are, we don't realize how other people see us. And sometimes they see us as much bigger than we are, or they see us or we don't necessarily have an appreciation of where we've grown to.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave me a chance to really open my eyes. That made me really cognizant of the message, the message, the mission, the ministry, the whatever it is that we are individually as ourselves. Because I'm the CEO of William Wilson Clothing, but I'm also the country boy of Arkansas. I'm also Della's boy. I'm also Carrie's friend. I'm also Cowboy fan. You know, even though we struggling times at home.
I'm gonna say nothing, but okay.
You know, but it's just, you know, I'm a lot more things than just
Mm-hmm.
an entrepreneur. So but it gave me a chance to see how other people see me. Like it amazed me that I'll be somewhere and, hey, aren't you William Wilson? Like, yeah. And we have this long conversation, like, oh, I followed you on Instagram or Twitter. And I like when they say, it's cool, you're the same person in real life that I've seen on social media.
Yep.
So like, I only know how to be me. Some people gonna love it and some people gonna hate it. But I'd rather you hate me for who I am than love me for who I'm not.
Good point. Good point. And I think that's important too, man, because unfortunately we live in a world, and this is good dialogue right here, but we live in a world in which everyone is so caught up on position or caught up on how I look in the public's eye. And I've learned as of late, well, I've always knew, but it really emphasized to me, especially with COVID, that you just got to be real. You have to be real. It's not about the glitz and the glamour and what people see and this perception they have of you. Just be real, because you don't know, by you being real, that could be a testimony to someone else to say, I appreciate that. I know what direction I need to go. A lot of times people perceive someone in a certain position and they think, oh man, and they feel as though, like you said, as far as levels, we get caught up in those levels.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can just be real and just be the best individual that you are, and not worry about what's going on with the Joneses in their yard and things, and because you don't know their struggle. That's the one thing I used to tell a lot of people. You know, you see somebody with a brand new car, it's like you don't even know, they might be working 3 jobs to have that new car. It's all
Yeah.
about perception, you know. And some people fake it till they make it. So
It really is. I think, and people vilify social media for a lot of stuff, but I believe social media. I think America's the most, or the world is just the most honest it's ever been.
mhm.
But it also shows the pain that a lot of people are in. So a lot of people are spending a lot of time trying to put on this facade because they're hurt, or they want to be all these different things. But it's no different than we were when we were in high school, or before the internet. The only difference is, when you're in high school, you want to have the cool clothes. You want to date the guys want to date the cheerleaders want to date the football players. Everybody wanted to be part of the cool crowd. You had all those things. It's the same. Social media is the same way. It's just a bigger, instead of just being the small group of kids you're in school with, it's the whole world. So it still kind of draws to that same thing, that whole connection, that desire to interact with people. And people want to feel like they're interacting with greatness, which is why people stand in line to get someone's signature on a piece of paper and things like this. But I think we should also make sure we remember where we came from. And I think that's where the problem comes from. Too many people want to run from where they came from and get out of the situation. You can get out of the situation, but not lose who you are. Like with me, I remember when I moved to Charlotte, man, when I moved to Charlotte, I had an old 84 Chevy Blazer. The hood was oxidation spray armor all on the hood, so the oxidation wouldn't look so bad. I had roll up windows. The AC didn't work. I mean, it was crazy. And all I owned to my name was a beanbag chair. I had like a 27-inch TV I bought from a pawn shop. I had a VCR. I had one black suit. And I'll show you. Hold on one second.
Family, you see it first right here. William Wilson is getting real. He is about to show us. Thank you, Amber. Presence is everything. I have always been a private person, and I am a firm believer that respect the company with humility creates a presence of its own. So thank you, fellas, for remaining both. Thank you, sis. We appreciate it. William has pulled out the suit.
This is the first suit I ever bought. I bought in 1991 at Jeans West. It got 1, 2, 3. It's got 5 pleats.
Yes.
That's how old this suit is. I got the suit, a shirt, a belt, and a tie for $99.
That was the deal.
This was my tuxedo. This was my church suit. This was my interview suit. It's the only suit I own. So I had this, a beanbag chair, 2 pair of blue jeans, a bunch of t-shirts, and I had an air mattress that I would blow up. And it had a little leak, so I'd go to sleep on an air mattress, wake up on the floor with the air mattress around me, and had to get up and blow it back up. Goodwill, and the Goodwill pretty much furnished my first apartment. And there was this guy named Roger. My first job in Charlotte was managing that Waffle House in Pineville. And one of the ladies that worked for me, her friend, was throwing out a couch and a chair.
Okay.
So he gave me the couch and the chair. So, and I remember eating ramen noodles every night, like all the time. And like my reward to myself, every 2 weeks I'd order a pizza. That would be like my 2-topping pizza. That was my reward to myself. And I would this real talk. And like I would have cable during basketball season. I loved watching basketball, but I really couldn't afford it. So as soon as the NBA season ended, I'd cancel my cable so I could save that money. And I used to call, and I'm not necessarily proud of this, but it's just truth.
Okay.
Remember back in the day when you were like, somebody mess up your order, you call, they put your name in a little book.
Right.
They go to a fast food place, whatever.
Yeah.
So I would call places I hadn't even been to and say, hey, I went to y'all drive-thru. I ordered a Whopper with extra pickles, and y'all gave me onions. And I would lie just because I got so sick of eating ramen noodles all the time. So I would do that and I had like a cycle, man. So like that's where it was. That's where I was. So I've gotten from here, but I've never forgot being there. That's why this suit goes with me everywhere. It's always the first suit in my closet. So anytime it's always the first thing. When I move to a new place, this is the first thing I hang up, because And when I was here, I was still happy. I wasn't unhappy when I was broke. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like literally, this is always the first thing I hang up in my closet because this is the reminder of where I came from. And I never want to forget. So I want this to be the first thing you see when you look at my suits. I got hundreds of suits. But when you look, the first suit is always this one. Because I want to always be reminded. That's why you've never, since you've known me, you've never seen me talk down to anybody.
Right.
I don't care if you're the like I said, you can be the guy who bags groceries at Harris Teeter. I don't care who you are. You're somebody and you got a story. You're a person. Mm-hmm. So I will never make so much money that you won't be important enough for my time. So I have the access to CEOs and all this stuff. I will sit and speak to. Please let me know if you got to go. Let me know. Cause I don't want to hold you up. I know you got. I'll talk all night. You know me. I'll talk all night. But I was speaking in Houston one time years ago, and I was like the headline speaker.
Okay.
And this tell you how raw I was. I didn't know what a writer was. They were sending me emails, talking about your writer. I'm like, well, I'm coming by myself, so I don't have a writer. So I kept just deleting the email. Right. So I get there, and they show me my dressing room and everything. They're like, well, you didn't find anything in your writer, so I say, well, I don't have a writer. I'm just by myself. And the girl looked at me like, what? I said, y'all asking me something about a writer. I'm by myself. I don't have anybody riding with me. It's just me. She said, no, a writer is like you tell people like special things you want. Right. I'm like, what's that? She said, you hear about like people that want only green M&Ms or whatever. She said, is there anything that you want? I said, some water. She's like, so she goes, what kind? I said, cold. I didn't know how to answer the question. I said, cold. So we're talking whatever. So she give me some. She's like, you want Fiji? You want this? I'm like, it's water. Just give me some cold water. I don't care. I said, y'all gonna feed me later? She said, yeah. I said, I don't care. I'm good. So we speak and everything. So when we finish up, I'm in my green room, but like the volunteers are in there. And I'm talking, I answer questions because they've been working the whole time. They didn't get to ask me any questions or hear my speech or whatever. So I'm talking with them. And the organizer keeps coming to Mr. Wilson, we're gonna be leaving in a little bit, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I'm still talking. And then he's like, Mr. Wilson, we have to go right now. We got to leave. We say, all right, y'all come on, let's go. He's like, no, they're not coming. I'm like, what do you mean they're not coming? He said, we don't have the budget for them to eat. I'm like, but they've been working all day for free. I'm like, this whole thing was able to happen because of them. So there's this one guy, the guy who spoke, either spoke before me or the person before him. I can't remember. But he had this attitude. The brother had this attitude. And I said, where are we going? They said, well, there we go, take like a Ruth Chris type place. And I'm like, why? I said, we just eat somewhere else. I said, I want to, these are my people. So this guy's like, well, I come here to eat a pizza. I think I suggested pizza or something. And the guy said, well, I come here to speak to eat Pizza Hut, blah, blah, blah. He's one of those type cats. And I'd had about enough of him. And I finally said, somebody give me a program. So they gave me the program. I said, look at this. I said, nobody came to see you. I said, my name was at the top of this bill. I said, now y'all free to go where y'all want to. I said, I didn't work for food. I came here, got paid. I've got paid. I said, these are my people. Says we can do 1 or 2. I can order 3 or 4 pizzas and we can sit right here and eat. I said, but I'm telling you this. I said, if they can't eat with me, I'm not going. So y'all go figure it out. I really don't care. So we ended up going like the Pizza Hut, like to a buffet, and a couple people they was in their feelings, but I'm like, I don't care. They could have went where they wanted to, but I'm not gonna sit there. This whole thing was able to happen because of these volunteers that gave up their time to run around and get treated like less than. If you treat them like that now, I can imagine how you treated them beforehand during the day when they put stuff together. If you treat them like trash in front of me and treat them like they're nobody, you tell me you didn't budget to feed people that you've been working all day long. That's telling me what you think of them. But I don't have to subscribe to your idea. So we all ate together and we had a good time and everybody learned. But you can't treat people just because the title may be lower or the status may be lower. They're still people. If I get pulled over by the police, they don't. My police report don't. The little thing that say this is William Wilson. He's a this. It just says my name, height, my driver's license number. They don't know if I sell suits for celebrities or if I sell drugs in the hood. We don't come with qualifiers. So I treat everybody the same, because at the end of the day, that's who we are. And the Bible says that which you do the least of my brother, you also do unto me. And it also says to be mindful to entertain strangers, because somebody entertain angels unaware. So I try to treat everybody the same, because I've been really blessed, Carrie, to do some wonderful things that I never even thought imaginable, that I never could have possibly processed I'd be doing. This interview here, when I started my business, I didn't think people want to interview me, want to talk to me, let alone want to chime in and listen to what my dumb country tail got to say. So I've been blessed, like you've been a blessing to me. This is a blessing. And hopefully you're blessed as somebody else. I never thought I would be here. And I'm appreciative and I'm grateful and I'm humbled by that. I don't deserve to be here. And that's why it's a blessing. So I never want to forget that. That's why I like keeping people around me that will shoot it to me straight. It's like, if I get a little too much, they'll put me in my place. Because you know how it is. It's easy to get caught up if you're not careful.
This is very true. Oh, I got a question. Amber posted a question. I had to say that right there, Amber. But I want to pose this question to William. Let him answer it real quick.
Let's see, how do you reward change with success? Do you still order the pizza? I don't still order the pizza. I mean, I still eat pizzas, but here's the funny thing. I believe, I remember Steve Harvey said one time, said, you got to give yourself your baller moments. Yeah, yourself your baller moments. So when I celebrate like a really great day, like something really wonderful has happened, and y'all gonna probably laugh at me, but what I do, I'll give me a 3-piece from Popeyes, and I'll eat ice cream out of a wine glass to make me feel like I'm fancy. Like, that's it. But you know, you go to those fancy places, they got like the little wine glass, they put the ice cream in there. So I'll eat ice cream out of a wine glass. That's how I celebrate, you know, a great day or a big sales day or something amazing happening. That's how I celebrate. I don't need a lot of stuff. I'm happy. You can give me a DVR at high-speed internet, put me anywhere in the world, and I'll be completely fine. I'm very easy. I'm a big child, and I'm just not really overly interested in growing up.
And I think we need that, man, especially when we get older. There's nothing wrong with that. My wife will tell you I'm the same way. I don't ask for a lot in life. I really don't. My biggest thing in life is to be a blessing to others. So anytime somebody needs something, I'm always there. Phone calls. Carrie, how do I do this? Carrie, can you come over and do this? Recommendations, letters, whatever it is. Throughout the course of the day, I'm always doing something for somebody. So at the end of the day, I find myself a lot of times spoiling myself with a very, very, very simple thing. And my wife will tell you, it's just Chinese food. I love Asian food. So if I can get a plate of, because I'm always cooking. I was a chef. So I'm always cooking for people. But if I can just sit and get a plate of pad thai with a lime to the side, I'm good.
Bro, have you been to to me the best pad thai in the city? Thai Taste right there on East Boulevard.
Thai Taste was one of my clients.
Really?
I used to eat there all the Thai Taste. I would go there, get a plate of pad thai, side order of meat crab, and a iced coffee, and I was good. That was my spoiling. Like when I worked, that was my spoiling thing. Every 2 weeks, I would go do that, and I was set for the rest of the month. I was just like, I'm good, you know. I spoiled myself. Yeah,
like I said, man, I just really got hip to pad thai maybe about a year or so ago, and I'll get it, and I'll get me a not eat like even chopsticks. So I make me feel like I'm fancy. But I do. But the thing is, like I said, man, when you really find a place where you're happy, you don't need big extravagant things to celebrate. You're just happy. You're just thankful. So see, you got me wanting some pad thai, so I'm probably gonna go. So you pronounce it probably pad thai. See, I'm like, I just like pad thai, like it's 2 words. But you know, I'm not very cultured. But I have a very juvenile palate. I mean, and I'm the least foodie guy ever. So like I said, you were a chef, so you can you can appreciate like all the herbs and the spices and things like this. I don't understand them. You can give me like I'm annoyed by food more than I enjoy it because I'm so busy doing something like I don't want to think about it.
Right.
I'm that guy, and Carrie, this is the God honest truth. I can decide I'm hungry at 6:30, but I can't figure out what I want to eat. It could be 10 o'clock, and I'm so frustrated and aggravated because I can't figure out what I want to eat because I've made all the decisions I can make that day. And it's I'm like, I don't want this, I don't want this. I want to eat healthier, but I don't want to cook. And I'm like, dude, it is, if you saw me trying to figure out what to eat, it's a mess. But I'm like, but you can boil 2 hot dogs and wrap them in white bread and stick it in front of me, and I'll just eat it and be completely content and go about my business. But I have to figure out what to eat. It is a whole ordeal. It could take hours. And I'm not proud of that, but it's just the God honest truth, man. I am a lot similar than people think I am, because I love people. I love talking to people and hearing their stories and learning about them. Because I think everyone has a story. Everyone can show you. There's something to learn from everybody. The homeless guy on the side of the road, if you sit and talk to him, can teach you so much about life. You know, it's just, I just love to learn and just understand and experience, because I'm living a life I wasn't supposed to live. You know, if you just look from society standpoint, because we're all living a life God has chosen for us.
That's correct.
But, you know, we're just, I can see, I love downtown views. I can see downtown from both my toilets. I love my life. I am blessed beyond anything I ever would have imagined. I'm living a life now I was hoping to live 10 years from now. You know, I've got amazing people in my life. I have respect in my community. I'm in control of my destiny to a point. I just love being me, man. I just don't understand people that are just miserable all the time. Like, that's why, like, you said, though, you wrap it up, and I know, I'm like, you probably like, I told this Negro it's gonna be 30 minutes, and we've been here almost an hour.
Almost an hour, but it's funny because you're bringing up some good things, and people keep chiming in. So I would be remiss to say, okay, that's it, cut it, I'm done. I gotta go cook, you know. But it's all good.
You won't have to, because I'll talk for the next 3 hours. You gotta shut me up. I tell you, I'm a country boy from Arkansas. And I don't mean stranger. We ain't talking a long time.
Yeah, that's true. And I think because of life, you know, so many times it gets in the way that we miss those connections that we previously had. You know, I tell my best friend who's up in the Raleigh-Durham area, he's in real estate, and he's always working. Beautiful daughters, lovely wife, his mom is there. And one of the things I always tell him is, sometimes while life is good, you've got to take time out for yourself. You cannot allow work to be your life. You know, I mean, he constantly works. And I tell him, sometimes take those moments to steal away, because as a father, as a grandfather, I have to steal away. You know, I have to, and my wife will tell you, I'll go down here in the studio, and I'll start doing artwork, or I'll start doing some graphic design, or just listening to some jazz, or reading my book. I got to steal away. And I always tell brothers that, and you just said it yourself, it's those simple things in life that you can do for yourself that actually helps prolong your life. So this dialogue right here is feeding me, and I know it's feeding everyone else as well, because they keep chiming in, and I have to share it. So, you know, hey.
Yeah, like this. Did I get off here, man? I'm mad. I'm almost mad at you, not Carrie. You got me to my pad time, and I got it. You know, like I said, I live downtown, so in our parking deck, I got a first floor parking space. So I'm like, I got a great parking space. I'm probably gonna lose it. Somebody go give me some pad thai. I'll come back. Watch. Give me, watch a little TV. At least I know what I want to eat. So that's a plus.
That's good.
But like that, man, it's just, people just have to. Your work. Someone is begging. Someone would give anything for your worst day.
Yes.
You know, and that's what people have to remember. I'm so thankful and so grateful for my life, because for me, typically, if I'm having a bad day, it's because a customer didn't show up, or a shipment didn't come in. Like, other people's bad days, like their lights got turned off, they don't have any money, or they lost a loved one, or they lost their job, and they're gonna lose their insurance, and they got a sick relative. Like my bad days are so minimal. I mean, they still hurt me, but
Right.
in the grand scheme of things, I know there are people that would do anything to have my bad day. No, to see delivery. See, Charlie, here's why I'm not gonna do delivery. The Bible say a fool and his money will soon part.
Yes.
Now, I remember one time I ordered, because I love me some Popeyes and I love me some Church's chicken. Y'all don't judge me, they got better spicy chicken. And you get like 75 pieces of chicken for $10.
Yes.
But I remember I ordered a 3-piece from Popeyes. And it's like $8.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered through Postmates. Bro, my bill was like $24. I'm like, this math don't add up. This is how you don't get rich doing these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
I can get in my truck and I may spend 75 cents worth of gas to go pick it up, bring it back, and now I'm net $16.
Right.
I'm net a half a tank of gas just by going to pick up this food versus having someone deliver it to me. You know, when you learn, like I saw a guy at Walmart one day. He's like, Will, you really shop at Walmart? I'm like, yes, I shop at Walmart because I take $100 and get 15 bags at Walmart. Mm-hmm. I go to Whole Foods and spend $100 and get a bag and a half.
True.
I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of money to let you impress the bag that I carry.
Right.
I'm just not gonna do this. Yes, I believe in watching my money. So I'm not out there spending a bunch of crazy stuff. I'm not out there buying a bunch of cars. I'm not spending a bunch of money on frivolous things and stuff like this. So yes, I will roll right up at Walmart like a champ, and I love it. You know, we just have to be really careful and watch how we spend our money, because those are the habits that people watch. And if I come across, I'm like, I want everybody to be successful, man. Mm-hmm. I love a good fried bologna sandwich. I love a fried bologna sandwich.
Gotta cut the sides, let that thing split open.
Yeah, you gotta put one cuss a little like Pac-Man.
Gotta cut it, just pop.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you got a cast iron skillet, you really hitting on it. You gotta put a cast iron skillet.
Yes. You toast the bread too?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is but my favorite food on earth, my favorite food in the world, people think I'm joking when I say this, are hot dogs. I love hot dogs. Mm-hmm. My favorite food, hands down, I would rather eat a dirty water hot dog from a vendor on the street that goes to the most elegant restaurant on the planet. That is for real. Because I don't care about a steak. I don't go for $150 steak. I go to Longhorn. Because it all tastes the same to me. Now, to you can taste the difference. You're a chef. You can taste all the difference. You can make me spaghetti out of a can. You can use like ragu spaghetti sauce. I'm good with that. I'm simple that way. But I like that about it. Because I can be happy anywhere. If I'm dating somebody, if me and my girl go out, she can take me to Burger King and I'm cool. We can swing through Taco Bell, come back and watch TV, and I'm cool. We ain't got to go to Fahrenheit, Ruth's Chris, Five Church. You spend hundreds of dollars. I don't need that. I really don't need it. Chili cheese, hot dog. Oh, chili cheese, we got to put mustard and onions too. Chili cheese, mustard and onion, boom, done. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I'm telling you that. I like the simple stuff, man. Life, I love life, but I just know how much. You know this, man, how much easier life is when you're just happy and not trying to pretend like you need all this fancy. Because I can't stand. And I know you run into these people, Kerry. I know the people that you know they grew up going to McDonald's and Shoney's and Olive Garden and Red. You know they grew up going to these places. Definitely. Then they get a little bit of money. Now it's like Olive Garden tear their stomach up. Oh, I can't believe you eat at McDonald's. You was eating McDonald's 8 months ago. Now you made a little money. Now you too good to go. You know what I'm saying? That's not the way it is. When I have my golf tournament, and like I bring in like all my celebrities and stuff in, right? That's the first place they all want to go. Mm. My boy J. Alexander Martin, John Luke, he's the auctioneer on Storage Wars, New York, and J. Alexander Martin is one of the founders of FUBU. When we land, before we get to the hotel, guess where we go first? Waffle House.
Scattered, smothered, covered, chopped, and diced.
The first time I brought them down, because we stay at the Hampton Inn in Phillips Place. So the first time we took them down, I'm like, I want to take you to a nice dinner. So we go to the Palm. 5 people, 6 people, I'm out almost $700. Now, while we talking, they're like, man, we start talking, and somehow Waffle House, and they're like, oh man, I love Waffle House. They're like, we should have went to Waffle House. I would have cut all of them. I would have cut every one of them. Because I'm like, what? He said, I'm like, why you like to went to Waffle House? I said, wait, you didn't ask us. We just went where you told us to go. So I'm like, I could have fed all y'all for the price of one of y'all. So now, every time we go, when we finish up the tournament, we have our celebrity dinner, we go to Waffle House. Back in a minute, it's gone. See that guy smell? We go. And they love it.
That's good.
They love it. So they start Waffle House before we get to the hotel. And then we probably eat Waffle House 3 or 4 times while they in town.
Heck yeah. That's how you got to do it, man. I'm telling you, when we would go to different events, me and the brothers, we would always get together, and we're in Portsmouth. You know, we might be down in, Hilton Head or whatever. It's not about the glitz and the glamour. To me, I'm a simple guy. And one of the things I always tell them is, we go to a fancy restaurant, I know what they're making and I know how much it actually costs. Food control. So it's like, you line in some pockets. But we would always, this is the funny thing, whenever we go out of town and we're together and you're talking like incomes, everybody's good. Bojangles, the fries, and a big sweet tea. And that would hold us. I mean, we're talking like 6 o'clock in the morning. We're at homecoming and we're getting Bojangles chicken, fries, and a tea. And we're out in the parking lot waiting for the marches and everything to go on. And we're good. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Bro, Wyclef came to town. He performed at the neighborhood theater. And we chilling after the show. And he can't wait to finish the show because they brought Bojangles. Because they got Bojangles in New York. So bro, they tanning this Bojangle like crazy. Bro, I'm with you. But I'm like that, man. But those are the people, having the people in your life that you can spend, that don't care about the money, that don't care about having to go to the right places and all that stuff. Where you can just be, you. You go Waffle House, you can kick it, watching the game, you just have a good time, man. Those are the people you want in your life. You can always find people to spend your money on. They'll spend all your money. But finding people that you can go have a good time for $5. Those are the people that you keep close, because those are the people that really care about you, not your status. Because if you lose your business or I lose my business, this, 95% of the people in our lives are fake. They are. They fake. They with us, they deal with us, they talk to us, they interact with us, they deal with us because of what they feel they get from us or what we give them access to, or being friends with us elevates their status. And as soon as we lose whatever notoriety we do, whatever, they're gonna kick us to the curb and go on about our business, about their business.
Or better yet, they'd be like, "Child, did you hear what happened? You hear what happened?"
Yeah, that's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, and then be like,
some people want to be close to you to get the freshest tea, but that's what it is. So I never lose track of that. So the people I got that I know that I know they there, man, that's worth the price. That's worth their weight in platinum.
Yes, indeed. That's true, Amber. Just chill. Doesn't matter what it is, where it is. Good company is company to keep.
Amen.
Charlie said you're giving word tonight.
Like I said, man, life is just like I love my life. I wish everyone could be me for like a day, just to see, not to live my life, but just to see how I see the world. Like I see the world like a 5-year-old can live my life. If I don't like you, I don't mess with you. If I like you, I mess with you. My mom always said, if you don't like the kid up the street, don't play with the kids up the street. I just like to keep my life. I have one mantra I go through in life. That's have as much fun as you can without hurting anybody.
That's it.
Have as much fun as you can without hurting anybody. That's how I live my life. That's how I operate. That's how I move. So people that want to do all this other stuff, that's on them. That's on their deal. I just want to have fun. I'm the Black Peter Pan. I just dress better. You know what I'm saying? But I know you got to go. But I got one question for you.
Yeah, man.
How can I get on the cover?
We can do that. And it's interesting because I've switched gears. A lot of people, no, here's the thing. I remember years ago when Urban Times was really heavy, was flowing. We were doing the networking events in downtown. You know, we partnered up with a couple of publicists and we were bringing people in and doing events, all kinds of stuff. And I had a writer at the time, and her name was Tawanda Blake, and she interviewed you and had you on the cover of Urban Times at the time. I've shifted gears now. So cultured media, because we do things positive now. And it was, I came up with cultured media after my bout with COVID. Because I was in the hospital after having a blood clot go through my heart and into my lung. And I was sitting there. And one of the things I was wondering when I was in the hospital is everything that I'm doing, I've been doing, and I've been doing it for other people. It's time for me to do for me.
Absolutely.
I wanted to leave a legacy in which all we're talking about is positive things, because we get enough negativity. I want to talk about positive. I want to enrich people. I want to lift people up. I want to show people live your best life. And hence the reason we came out with Cultured Media. So with that being said, Cultured Media website, time for an interview, a dope interview with William Wilson. I am William Wilson. And you'll be right smack dab on the front of the website itself, and people will tune into that particular interview. We can do it live, or we can do the old school. We write it down and people got to sit and read it and stuff. But we're going to do that. I think it's time for that, because everything that I'm doing right now, from not only this podcast, but at the Roundtable Podcast Show to the other Charlotte in the Know, everything is about positivity and us uplifting and showing people the best that is out here. That's my goal. And I'm not diverting from it. I'm not letting other people tell me, hey, let's do this. Because like you said it earlier, they're not me. And they don't understand what's in me. And they don't understand how I've been blessed and how I want to be a blessing to other people as well. So yeah, let's make that happen. Most definitely. I'm not going to say you tell me the time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call you, William. And I'm going to say, hey, William, what are you up to? And you're going to be like, hey, this is my schedule. And I'm going to be like, okay, we're going to take some photos, do the full interview, and put it out there. And then I'm gonna come down to your new spot. He has a new spot as well. You didn't tell him about that, but that will be part of the interview, I guess. And I get to come down there and grab another suit. So y'all heard it first right here.
There you go. Breaking news. News.
I told my wife it's time for me to go ahead and get another suit, because these sweatpants and these polo shirts are getting aggravating. I've been too relaxed. I haven't dressed up in a long time. Oh,
bro, that's what a lot of people, man. But it's just, I think that's a beautiful thing. I love you doing that, because like every day I just want to be happier than I was the day before. You know, it's just crazy, man. I just really love. I just love life, man. I just like doing just dope stuff with dope people and being a part of dope things. And I've been so disconnected for so long, because my business, normally you start off small and you grow out this way. Mine went outwards. I've been trying to grow back. So I've been working on that. So it's been doing really well. But it's just, man, I don't know. I could talk all night. I know you got to go at some point. We must try to be 4 hours. People like, this Negro is never going to stop talking.
Well, it's funny.
Kerry got some William Wilson suits. Yeah, yes, he does.
Hey, let me tell you, this is a long time ago, one suit. And William hits me all the time about the latest and the greatest that's coming out. And I've been remiss not doing it, because I'm taking care of everybody else. I'm always, I'm over here sowing seeds into the nonprofit. So I'm over here helping out, my grandkids and stuff, because I love spending on my grandkids, and I'm taking care of the house. But everything is done. I told my wife this year, I said, babe, it's 2021. She said, yeah. I said, I need to get me a William Wilson suit this year. I said, because I've been doing sweatsuits. I've been doing polo shirts and t-shirts. I got so many different t-shirts. It's not even funny. I'm dressed down. I've lost a lot of weight as well because of COVID. And that's another reason why I didn't do it, because I had gained so much weight. If we're going to be transparent, family, I was at 235 pounds. So now I'm at 208. I've lost a lot of weight. It's time for me to get sized up and get a dapper suit, because when this COVID drops, brother's going to be very dapper. Yes, indeed. So yeah, Amber, Carrie dressed in WW for sure.
You know, we should make like a whole event. We should like record it and like record the whole recording of it, the measurements, and then have like you get the suit, you put it on. We should do like a whole production.
Oh man, Charlie said we're listening. Okay, okay. Yeah, he's giving me an idea, so I guess we're gonna have to do that. And you know what? Here's one thing I want to throw out there, and this is something I've always envisioned because I did this with some ladies who are publicists, black PR ladies, rather, is what I called it. And I did a full photo shoot with them. They were different places. We were downtown, everything. It was beautiful. But one of the things I really want to do is put together a shoot with different brothers in a positive light. And I did it years ago. I did it with them, but we never revisited it. And it was very powerful. It actually got on TV and everything. But I want to do that again. I definitely want you to be involved in it. I think that would be amazing.
Well, you know me. All you get to do is text me. I'm there, man. You know me. You know me. I love help. I love helping good people. I love people trying to help people that are doing good things, man. And you know, I've had to be more selective with my time because there's so many pulls and stuff on it.
Yes.
But the people that know me, you know, that's what matters. So to me, whether you buy one suit or you bought 100, you supported me. Like we support each other. That's how it's supposed to go. You know what I mean? But that's how it is. We're not supposed to spend money. We're supposed to trade money.
Right.
I traded you. You get it. We just trade back and forth, and we all eat. But you know, I just think it's a beautiful thing. I like to be a part of anything that's going to be positive because there's so much good happening in the world that gets overlooked because we pay so much attention to. You know, they all say the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yes.
So the positive stuff isn't squeaking loud enough. So we need to put more stuff out there. We need to have more cats, but cats also need to be more real with stuff, man. It just we don't know a lot of these people. We know what they want us to see, but we don't know them. We don't know their personalities. You know, we know they drive a Benz, they drive a this, but that's what I drive. Where I live is not who I am.
Right.
You know, and I think people need to be more honest. And you know this, man. Entrepreneurs, like being an entrepreneur is cool now. It's like the cool thing to be. It's the cool thing to say you are. But so many people don't understand how difficult of a job this is.
Yes.
And how much it costs you, and the sacrifices and those things that gets involved, and the amount of failures that you deal with. Because everybody they highlight reel, but they never tell you about all the failures. Like I failed at a lot of stuff. I failed a lot, but I try a lot of things. You know, the more success you have, the easier it is to succeed. But you still, it's not like, oh, well, that's where anything he does starts to go now. No, I failed a lot. But so many entrepreneurs, they're out there, they're trying to minimize people for having a job. If everybody's entrepreneurs, somebody got to do the work. You know, somebody has to be the employee. But there's so many people that try to make people feel bad for being an employee. Look, if you make it $40,000 a year, $30,000 a year, and you love what you do, and you are happy, and you're able to get home and see your kids and see your grandkids or whatever it is that matters to you, you are winning. But we love to tell people, get out of your comfort zone. Why? I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. I know where my comfort zone is going to be. And when I get there, I ain't moving.
That's right. I work hard to get there.
But we love to tell people, get out of your comfort zone. You can be more. If you're making 40 grand and you happy, don't listen to me.
Right.
You know, like, because you are winning right now. You are winning in life. So if my idea of comfort zone is this, when I get there, I don't care what Carrie say, my mama say, anybody else say. I'm gonna sit right there because I worked myself to get here. Why should I want to live my life in a constant state of discomfort? Who does that? Even when you got a terminal illness, and they can't do anything else for you. What they say they're gonna do? We're gonna try to make them as comfortable as we can.
That's right.
Why should we try to get out of being comfortable? I love running a business, so running my business is my comfort zone on top of the rest of it. But entrepreneurship ain't for everybody. If you don't want to be an entrepreneur, don't let somebody sit there and tell you, I wouldn't trade my money for time. Yes, I trade my time for money all the time. or well, I can't. I don't want to have a boss. I got a boss. I got hundreds of bosses. The only difference is if I work at Bank of America and I get fired, someone comes and gives me a piece of paper and says, "Hey, you've been fired. Don't come back in tomorrow. Your services are no longer needed." As an entrepreneur, I don't know I'm fired till I see somebody wearing a suit that I didn't make that was a regular customer and I ain't talked to them in a minute. That's how I realized, oh, I've been fired. I got bosses. I got accountability. Yeah, I can. If I decide I don't want to go to work tomorrow, I can do that. But I also got to decide I don't want to make any money tomorrow.
That's right.
Because we're hunter gatherers. If you don't hunt, you don't kill. You don't kill, you don't eat. That's just where that goes. So there's consequences. But entrepreneurs try to sit there and act like we're superheroes and like we have no fear. And I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's stupid. Because you don't sleep, you're gonna be dead sooner than you planned on it.
That's right. And don't enjoy the fruit of your labors from that as well.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta as entrepreneurs, we really need to let people understand the truth about entrepreneurship and what comes with it. It's not all about interviews and celebrities and fancy cars and nice restaurants. There's some nights where you're up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning going, man, I gotta make this rent, I gotta make payroll. I need to sell 3 more suits by Friday, or I'm gonna be in a tough spot. Those kind of deals where those kind of things happen. But they don't tell you that. They just walk around and just fluff and act like they win it all the time. No, that's not the way it works. And I just want people to understand that. So entrepreneurs need to start being more real with people. If you got a job or you love your job, be happy with that. Don't let me take your happiness from you. Don't let the fact that I love being an entrepreneur, don't let me talk down about your job. Don't let me tell you, well, you need to be this. Because you need to tell me, well, you need to shut up. I'm happy. I'm loving my life. I see my kids every day. I go to all my kids' ballet. You always talk about you have to sacrifice this and sacrifice this. I ain't sacrificing nothing. I'm happy. I'm living my life. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead, bro, because you win. And if you happy with your life, because forget you can be here today, gone tomorrow. You can be here today, gone. I may not wake up tomorrow.
That's right.
If we're just being real, we could go to sleep. I could get up from this interview, walk over to my kids to go wash dishes, and drop dead. We don't know. We all in the checkout line. We just don't know where we are in the line. It could be next week, next month. It could be 60 years from now. What I'm not going to do is sit there and let someone else let me be miserable until it happens. When I drop, I'm going to drop happy. I'm going to be happy, and I just want people, I have one goal in life. I just want people to miss me when I'm gone. And then when they flash my picture up there, or memory of, rest in peace, or there's some message of William Wilson, or whatever it is, I just want to sit there and go. I talked to that guy on the bus station one day, man, and he talked to me for like 30 minutes. He just spoke so positive into my life. I was having a bad day. He just talked to me, or man, I'm trying to figure out something. He sat there and spent 20 minutes outside in the cold on the step and just talked to me, helped me put my business together, showed me. He gave me 30 minutes of his time and didn't know me from Adam. That's what I want people. I want people to have a good story where I did something to benefit them in their lives when I go, and I'm good.
That's true, Am. The boss mentality is very misunderstood. Very true.
I'm not a boss. I'm a leader. A boss is a title. A boss is a title you give yourself. Leader is a title other people give you.
Yeah, I've never liked that.
Huh?
I've never liked that. Somebody say that's my boss. I'm like, no,
because boss and you're ordering people around. Right. A leader, you get people to follow you, and they buy into what you're doing. They believe in you, and you have an obligation to those people because you build a trust. You have an obligation to that trust. You have an obligation to make sure you build them up. There's a responsibility comes with that.
True. And not only that, an effective leader, and I love telling people this, in order to be an effective leader, you must be first a humble servant. Because what happens is you know everything from the ground up. You've gone through those trials and tribulations. And then when you get there, it is your job to pour into that individual so they too can go from servant to leader. It's very important. A lot of people miss that. A lot of people want to be like, oh, I can just tell people what to do. You got to have a great foundation in order to build a house. Well, you know, exactly. You were in construction. I mean, hey, first and foremost, if you've got a weak foundation, It ain't gonna happen.
Exactly. And not only do you got to be willing to pour into them, you got to be willing to listen to what they have to pour into you too. Because sometimes they have a more effective way of doing something that you never thought about. Because I'm one brain. And I like to think I'm an intelligent person, but two heads can be better than one. I may have been doing something that was completely inefficient for years that some kid out of high school goes, why don't you just do this and this? And it cuts out these 7 steps. I'm like, oh, snap. So we got to be willing to listen too. You know, Sun Tzu in The Art of War says, if you would lead, learn to follow.
Yes.
You know, so that's what I think what happened. We're so busy because, again, it goes into our insecurities. We want to let you know we're boss. We got to plant IC. We got to, hey, I'm the boss. I'm in charge. I'm name on the door. It's us. Without my people that cut and sew my clothes and to do pressing in order to do the stuff, my foreman, I'm just a guy selling you something I can't produce for you.
Right.
At the scale that we need to. My people are as important to my business as I am. That's why I say my people, not my employees. They're my people. They look out for me. I look out for them, and it's a partnership.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not a boss. I have no desire to be. I don't make boss moves. I'm not a boss. I'm not a king. I'm not a, you know, all this other stuff. I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude trying to do the best I can with what I got, as my mom always said. That's it. I want to leave the world better than it was when I left it. If I come in contact with you, I want to leave you better. I want to leave your world better than it was when you met me, or at least as good. That's all I want to do, and I'm good with that.
Amen to that. Well, family, we got to wrap this thing up because we've got a couple of edits and stuff to do, because I want to make sure this show is on Facebook live and direct, as well as the YouTube channel. I want to thank my brother William Wilson for joining me this evening. Man, I'm gonna tell you, like she said earlier, Charlie said, you have given us an hour of good conversation tonight, and it wasn't planned. But it wasn't planned, but that's what good conversation is.
Oh yeah, like I said, with God, with 2 or 3 gathered, Lord, He'll be in the midst.
Amen.
Good talk. Like anytime you got anything going on, man, anything you got. A panel or a conversation, or you need somebody to drop in because somebody canceled out on you, man, just hit me up, man. Just hit me up.
Most definitely.
Just you got my private number. I
got your private number. Yeah, a lot of people don't have a private number, but you know what? I was blessed back in the day to get the private number. But hey, but when you start your podcast, let me know as well, so I can definitely check it out and share it. Let everybody hear this words of wisdom, as well as I get the opportunity to be on there as well. When I get on that show, y'all, let me tell you something.
Oh, and we ain't really have time limits like that, but yeah, because this is going to be, because I did one early during the beginning of COVID, so like my celebrity friends, about like how they got where they are. But this is going to be about entrepreneurship, just giving tips and understanding and stuff, truth about entrepreneurship. That's what it's going to be all about. I'm going to bring in entrepreneurs that talk about some of their wins, we talk about some of the hard times and the things they wish they'd known and where they screwed up big time. Like, I want to bring real truth to power to let people understand when you get into that entrepreneurship, what you're getting into.
Yeah, a lot of people need to be woke up about that. And it's funny because that's one of the things I got to get ready to do. I got to prepare for this young lady who's needing some help with some branding. So I'm putting together a package for her we're going to go over. But yeah, and I'll definitely make sure when that happens, I want to make sure everybody tunes into that, because that's a whole nother show. I don't even want to get into that as far as proper preparation as a Black business owner. I don't even want to get into that because we'll need about another hour. But yeah, thank you, bro, for this. I appreciate it, man. I'm not gonna keep you as well because you gotta go get that patay.
It's a pad time. I'm in the mood for it now. But man, like I said, just when will this be up on the site, or when will it be up on your page?
I'll have it up by this weekend.
Okay, cool. Just let me know, and I'll make sure I send it out to my people too.
All right, y'all heard it first right here on Convo with CD. I get to sit down with the illustrious William Wilson. Truly, I say that joking because I know how humble he is, but it really means a lot whenever I get a chance to chit chat with his brother, because we learn a lot from each other, and it keeps me grounded as well. So thank you, man.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Iron sharpen iron. We all here together.
All right, y'all heard it here. Y'all be good this evening. If you get a chance, share this as soon as we end it. You can share it to whoever you want, but the edited version will be up this weekend on YouTube as well. You get a chance to share that too. And if you want to be a part of Convo with CD, because it's all about the conversation, hit me up. You know how to contact me at culturedmedia on outlook.com. Okay, Coach It Media, outlook.com. Love you guys. Mean it. Peace.